Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how AI could probably get rid of one of my favorite jobs I do. When I give my little intro, I talk about how I'm a chartered accountant, how I'm owner of Boffix, and go through all of that. But I also say how I'm a certified UK trainer, a QuickBooks trainer, one of my proudest elements that I am, and who's just actually had a 10-year anniversary of being training. That's 10 years of being able to train one of my favorite pieces of software. Love it. Really enjoyed being part of this group. One of my favorite parts about it, certified trainer to the end, but is my job at risk? Well, that's what we're going to find out today, because we're going to look at a brand new piece of software, which I believe is going to single-handedly change the way that you can deliver training on software. So strap in, let's have a look at this and let's see how good this software can actually be. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer, maybe not much longer, from QuickBooks, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, head of accounts here at Boffix, and your digital disruptor for 2024, and also your friendly podcast who goes live each and every Monday morning for Ask the Accountant. Now, let's get straight into this, because I am really excited about the concept of this, even though I'm absolutely petrified of how it's actually going to go and how it would work. I'm excited to see what this concept could be. So we're going to look at a solution called Google AI Studio. And the idea of Google AI Studio is that it's basically a place where Gemini, which is Google's AI assistant, has been given a lot more features and everything else. I think features that could really be used to change the way that we deliver training to people. And the idea could be that if you've got a problem, let Google Gemini, let this Google AI, let this Google Studio be able to actually answer that question for you as the end user. Now, as a quote unquote, super user who's been able to use QuickBooks all the time, probably will never need to do this. But what about if I'm going to a piece of software I've never used before? This is where this can come in. And we're going to see a QuickBooks expert, QuickBooks certified trainer versus this AI and see if it's any good and if it's something that really could probably be a game changer going forward. So how's it work? First and foremost, so from the Google AI Studio option, click yourself into there. We want to be using, and there's various options here. We care about, for this one, Stream Real Time. From Stream Real Time, we can talk to Gemini, have one of those conversations. You've probably seen that quite a lot in OpenAI scenarios, stuff like that. Show Gemini, use your webcam, and then it kind of looks at things, uses there. But what we care about, share your screen. So let's have a look at it. Right, so it's going to tell me which one I want to share. So in my idea, on my Google Chrome, I want to go to this Google one just there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say share. Hey, Gemini, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I help?
Okay, I'm now going to look at this screen here. Can you tell me what you see, please?
Certainly. I see a screen for QuickBooks, an accounting software, with a dashboard that shows an overview of financial data. There are different sections with titles such as bank accounts, profit and loss, expenses, and invoices. The tasks section shows overdue bills. The dashboard also provides an overview of cash flow and sales data, among other items.
Cool. I'm thinking about sorting out my bank account. Is there any way that I can do that from here?
Okay, you want to sort out your bank account from the QuickBooks dashboard. To do that, you can look at the bank accounts section on the left of the screen. There you can see balances and a link to registers. Would you like to explore that further?
Yeah, which one would I go to, do you reckon? I need to do my current bank account.
Based on what I see on the screen, your current bank account is listed second under bank accounts. It has a balance of £54,458.25. You should select Go to Registers under this entry. Would you like me to help you further after you do that?
Yeah, I got myself into the bank. I'm a little bit confused though. What's it telling me in front of me now?
It looks like you are on the Transactions page, and the pop-up says, your bank connection is all set. It also suggests you review and add transactions to your books. Under the pop-up, the screen is loading the transactions from your bank account. Once it loads, you will be able to see a list of transactions, and you can then add or match them with your existing QuickBooks records. Did you want me to further explain the transactions that I see listed?
Yeah, I'm just going through here. Some of them say add, and then some of them say match. Why would there be a difference between the two?
Sure, the difference is that transactions with add mean QuickBooks doesn't recognize them, so they must be new transactions that should be added. Those with match mean that QuickBooks has detected a similar transaction already in your records and is suggesting you match it with the existing one. So you have the option to either add or match each transaction, depending on the situation. Does that clarify it for you?
Yeah, it's brilliant, thanks. And what about the top here? Why is there for review, categorized, and excluded?
Those options at the top are filters for your transactions. For review are the transactions that require your action of either adding or matching. Categorized are transactions that have been categorized. Excluded are transactions that you have specifically excluded from being added or matched to your QuickBooks records. Would you like me to explain any of these in further detail?
No, I think I get that. What's this here though? Why have I got bank balance of 40,000, but my QuickBooks is only saying 54? I don't get why there should be a difference there.
It seems that the bank balance you are referring to is actually the current balance, which is £40,071 and 20 pence, while the bank balance in QuickBooks is £54,458 and 25 pence. The discrepancy could be due to transactions that haven't been imported or reconciled yet. Those transactions would show in the For Review section. Do you want me to explain more about reconciling transactions?
Well, I think I should really just get some done, right? What would you suggest I do first, the match items or the add items?
To make things easier, I would suggest matching the transactions first. This can streamline the process, since you only need to confirm the match. Then you can focus on adding the new transactions. Would you like me to walk you through how to match a transaction?
Oh yeah, that'd be brilliant, thank you.
Okay, let's start with the first transaction that is labeled match, which is an ATM deposit to Jordan Burgess for £480. You should click the match button on the right side of the transaction line. After you do that, a new window will pop up where you will confirm the match. Would you like me to continue helping you after you do that?
I've matched it, but it's just disappeared, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Once you match a transaction, it is moved out of the For Review category. Now you will see the transaction count in the For Review category has changed to 11. Do you want to continue with the next match?
Yes, please.
Okay, the next match is an ATM deposit to Adwin Co. for £1,800. Please click on Match. After that, a new window should appear where you can confirm it. Do you want me to guide you further after this?
I should be fine, but is there any way you could make the click for me? Can you click match for me?
I understand, but I cannot directly interact with the screen or click on the match button for you. I can continue guiding you through the process though. Would you like me to explain the next steps?
No, it's fine, I can match this one. So now I've matched it. I don't think I've got any more matches left. They seem all to be adds now, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. It looks like all of the transactions are now showing add as the action, which means there are no more matches to be done. Would you like me to help you add these transactions to your records?
Now I've purposely made it from top to bottom just so we can play with it a little bit. Okay, so this top item here, I need to add it. What's the best way for me to do this?
Okay, the first transaction you are going to add is for business check card perch for £37 and 65 pence. You should click on the Add button on the right side of that transaction. A new window will then appear where you will be able to categorize it and add it to your QuickBooks records. Would you like my assistance after you do that?
Well, I press the Add button. It just says something's not quite right. Please click on the rows below to see the transaction errors. Anything I should do here? Should I press Add again?
No, you shouldn't press Add again. The message at the top says, something's not quite right. Please click on the rows below to see transaction-specific errors. You'll need to click on the specific transaction row to see what's wrong. In this case, click on the Business Check Card Perch transaction row. After doing that, you should see an option to add the VAT, and then you can add it. Do you want me to help you further after you do that?
I'm confused. What do you mean by VAT? Is it this box here?
Yes, VAT stands for value added tax. It's a consumption tax, and you'll need to indicate if this transaction includes VAT. The message at the top says, please choose VAT for this transaction. So in that VAT box, select the appropriate option. Do you want me to assist you further?
I think I would choose 20% on this one. Um, should I leave this as uncategorized expense, or should I change this account as well?
The account currently says uncategorized expense, and you should change it to a more appropriate category. Click the drop-down box to see your options. Do you need help with that?
Would you recommend anything for this one?
Based on the options, I would recommend categorizing the transaction as Unapplied Cash Bill Payment Expense, GBP. It is a general category, but is more specific than uncategorized expense, and it is commonly used when you have a cash payment. Do you want me to proceed with that choice, or would you like to select another?
It doesn't feel right, that one, but if you're sure that's the right one, I can go with it. What made you choose unapplied cash bill payment, out of curiosity? Was it because looking at this bank detail, it doesn't seem to suggest that? What was your reasons behind it? Okay, something went wrong. But so far, so good, right? Like literally, it was able to see what's happening, it go through. Don't think it liked the fact, other than telling me to use unapplied cash payment, it's pretty clever in the fact that it saw the screen, it was helping me point around, it was noticing error messages, it was doing everything that if if I was on a one-to-one call with someone, it's exactly what I would be doing with them. So I feel like it knows enough. Let's see if I can restart this. Hello again, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah, we were just on this screen here, and I'm just wondering what category to select this transaction with. Based on this bank detail down here, I was just wondering what account I should be putting this transaction to.
Okay, it looks like you are trying to categorize a business check card purchase in QuickBooks. Based on the bank detail that says Restaurant F 4308 London, you should categorize this transaction under meals and entertainment expense. Does that help?
That's brilliant, thank you. Any idea what VAT I should go for?
I see you're now looking at the VAT for this transaction. Since the VAT is already set to 20% and the transaction is a restaurant purchase, it is likely to be a standard rate VAT. Would you like to know more about different VAT rates?
Oh, I'm okay for now, thank you. Would I press add at this point?
Yes, you can press the add button now. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
I see that we've got quite a few transactions here. Is there any quicker way for me to add these, or would I have to just go line by line?
Yes, there might be a quicker way to add these transactions. You can select multiple transactions at once by checking the boxes next to them and then categorize them all together. Would you like to learn how to do that?
Yeah, that sounds great. Which ones would you recommend me doing all at the same time?
Okay, it looks like you have a few transactions that could be categorized together. Based on the descriptions, you could group the two restaurant expenses and the parking expense, as these all seem to be related to business expenses on the go. Would you like to try categorizing those three together first?
Yeah, sound excellent. How do I do this?
Okay, to select multiple transactions, click the checkbox to the left of the date for each transaction you want to include. Once you've selected the two restaurant expenses and the parking expense, you should see options to categorize them together. Shall we proceed to that step?
Yes, please.
Okay, now that you've selected those three transactions, you should see a bar at the top with options. Click Edit to categorize these transactions together.
What would you recommend I put on this screen?
Okay, now you're on the Edit Selected Transaction screen. For the type of transaction, select Expense. Then, for Account, select Meals and Entertainment, since these transactions are related to business travel. Finally, for VAT, select 20%. Does that work for you?
Yeah, sounds good to me. What do I do next?
Now that you've selected the correct categories, you can click Apply and Accept to finalize the changes and categorize those 3 transactions. Is there anything else I can help with?
Oh, it's come up with a pop-up message. What do I do here?
It looks like QuickBooks is asking if you want to create a rule to automatically categorize similar transactions in the future. You can choose Create Rule or Don't Show Me This Again, depending on your preference. Which option would you like to select?
Or what do you recommend?
If you frequently have restaurant expenses, creating a rule could save you time in the future. However, if you don't want to create a rule, you can select Don't Show Me This Again. What would you prefer?
I think we should create a rule. Agreed?
Okay, then click the Create Rule button to proceed with creating the rule. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Yeah, so by looks of it, I can probably deal with all of these top 6 items, or 5 items, should I say. I think they're quite easy to figure out. It's this bottom one I'm confused with, because I'm pretty sure that's an invoice I've received. Don't you agree?
Okay, it seems you're unsure about the last transaction, the ATM deposit from Jordan Burgess. Based on the fact that it's an ATM deposit and not an expense, and the fact that it's been categorized as income already, it seems likely that you've received money and therefore should be categorized as income. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, but he wouldn't have sent me it without an invoice. I've already sent him a couple of invoices, so this is him paying invoices. I'm confused why I would need to add this.
You're right. If this is a payment for an invoice you sent, it should be categorized as a payment against that invoice, not as a new income transaction. It seems you're on the For Review tab, so this is why it's showing up. However, you've already created the invoice in QuickBooks, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm confused. I didn't want to just add it. It felt like I was double counting it.
I understand it can be confusing. You should match the deposit to the invoice you sent to avoid double counting your income. Would you like me to show you how to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay, instead of selecting Add, look for the Match option next to the transaction. This will allow you to match the deposit to the correct invoice. Do you see that option?
No, I can't see a match button. I still have ads. I could try pressing that if you like.
It seems that the Match button is not immediately visible. Before we proceed, it's worth double checking if the invoice for this payment is already registered in QuickBooks. If it is, then clicking Add may lead you to an option to match the transaction. Would you like to check that first?
I'll give it a go. Let's press add. Now it looks like I've got the same error message I had before.
Okay, it seems that clicking Add brought up a message that says, please choose VAT for this transaction. This means that QuickBooks requires you to specify the VAT rate for this deposit, despite it being income and not an expense. Have you seen this VAT option?
Yeah, but I already declared the VAT on the invoice. I feel like if I'm doing it here, am I not just double counting it?
You're absolutely right. Since you've already declared the VAT on the invoice, you shouldn't declare it again here. Let's try to match this transaction to the invoice. Do you see the option to do that when you click the Add button?
No, every time I press add, this error message comes up. How do I bring the match option up? Okay, I feel like I've got him a little bit confused at this point, which is understandable, right? Because this is definitely a bit more confusing. The danger we've got here, and it did brilliantly, really, at adding these transactions above, right? And in fact, just to make it easier for him, we're gonna ask him again in a minute, but we're going to this time round, and I'm just gonna put this to anywhere. We're gonna clear the screen and just let it so there's only this one transaction. In fact, if I come in and out, we're going to ask it again, like, how do I add this last transaction? Because remember on this one, the key here is that not only do we have to click into it to then match, when we're in the match, it's then not going to be there. So if as soon as I press match, it's not going to show me the information. What I need to do is change the date range at the top. Now that is quite complex, and it's definitely something I wouldn't expect it to know 100%. Let's see how far we can get there just by using the prompt. So let's give him one more go. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is there anything I can help you with?
So we were just talking about this transaction here. This is my last transaction on the banking area. Um, I want to add this to QuickBooks, but I don't want to add a new transaction because I know that the invoice is already there. How do I go about matching this transaction?
Okay, you want to match an existing invoice with a transaction in QuickBooks. To do this, you should click the Add button next to the transaction and select Match. Then, choose the invoice you want to link the transaction to. Is there anything else I can help you with?
It seems that when I press the Add button, I'm just getting an error message saying about my VAT, but I don't want to tell it what the VAT is because, well, if I tell it the VAT, I've already declared it on my invoice. So how do I get past this?
It looks like the software requires you to select a VAT rate before you can add the transaction. If you have already accounted for the VAT on the invoice, you should choose the option No VAT or Out of Scope for VAT. This way, you can match the transaction without adding it again to the VAT reports. Is there anything else you need help with?
Yeah, that feels like I'm going to double count it, am I not? Should I not be matching the transaction? How do I match this transaction?
If you choose the No VAT or Out of Scope option, you will not be double counting. You are simply matching the bank transaction to the invoice that already includes the VAT. To match the transaction, after selecting No VAT, you should be able to proceed and match the existing invoice to the transaction. Does that clarify it for you?
Okay, so do you want me to click into the transaction? Is that what you're trying to say? Or click or press Add again?
You do not need to click into the transaction. Instead, you should click Add next to the transaction again, and then you will be prompted to select the VAT rate. Then, you can match the transaction with the existing invoice after selecting the correct VAT rate. Is there anything else I can help with?
I'm afraid every time I press Add, I'm just getting the same error message. I'm going to try clicking into the transaction, see what happens.
Okay, it seems like the software requires that you select the VAT rate to clear the error message before you can move forward. Let me know if that works.
Oh, you see, when I click in, now I have the option to match. Should I press now?
Yes, now that you've clicked into the transaction, you should choose the match option. After doing that, you can then select the invoice and match the two. Is there anything else you need help with?
Well, I've got this screen here, which I've never seen this screen before. I know it's not foreign currency, so I'm happy it's home. But it's only showing me certain transactions. I was expecting to see more.
Okay, it looks like you are on the Find Other Matches screen, where you can match transactions with invoices. The date range shown is from June 10th, 2023 to November 4th, 2024. You can adjust the date range or search by reference number, payee, or amount to locate your invoice. The transaction you are trying to match is dated October 5th, 2024 for £8,760. If you do not see it, it may be dated outside of this date range, or it could be categorized under a different payee or amount. Is there anything else I can help you with?
How would I change the date range?
To change the date range, click on the From field and select the desired start date from the calendar, and do the same for the To field and select your desired end date. After that, the transactions shown should reflect the new date range.
What day would you recommend for the two?
You mentioned the transaction was dated October 5th, 2024, so I would recommend setting your date range to start on or before that date and end on or after it if you haven't yet, to make sure that the transaction is included in your search. How can I help you further?
Is there any shortcuts for the date? I'd like to put today's date.
You can select today's date by clicking on the calendar icon in the To field and then choosing today's date from the displayed calendar. Is there anything else?
I mean, you could press T.
Okay, pressing T is a shortcut to select today's date in the To field. Would you like to try that?
Perfect. That's worked really well. It's giving me suggested matches. Am I correct in assuming these are correct?
The Suggested Matches feature tries to predict the correct invoice or payment to match with your bank transaction. However, you should always verify that the suggested matches are correct. If you see the invoice for £8,760 in the list, you can match it. If you do not see it, then you may need to adjust the search further. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Okay, so I think that the answer's in front of me. Is that correct? Is it the two that are shown there, or am I not adding these up correctly?
The Find Other Matches screen shows a list of possible transactions to match your bank transaction with. The screen indicates there are two suggested matches based on the current date range and the current transaction you are trying to match, so it is likely the correct one is there. Does that clarify things for you?
I'm just wondering which ones add up to that. I don't know which ones I should be clicking on.
Okay, I understand. You're wondering which of the listed transactions add up to the £8,760 ATM deposit. It appears the £960 invoice and the £7,800 payment don't add up to the deposit. So it seems none of the suggested matches add up to the total deposit. Is that correct?
Why don't they add up? What number do they come to?
Okay, the £960 invoice and £7,800 payment add up to £8,760. It looks like the software is suggesting these two transactions may be linked to the ATM deposit. Would you like to know more about this?
No, I think that's the answer, isn't it? Do I not need to include these? How would I match those two?
Yes, it seems the £960 invoice and the £7,800 payment are the transactions that match the £8,760 ATM deposit. To match them, you would likely click the Match button on the bottom right of the screen. Is that helpful?
Okay, I'll press match now. Oh, it's come up with an error message. What do you think the error message means?
Okay, I see. The error message says something's not quite right. The selected and downloaded transaction amounts don't match. To continue, resolve the difference. This indicates that the system doesn't believe the £960 invoice and the £7,800 payment should be matched to the £8,760 ATM deposit. It seems that it is looking for an exact match and may not automatically recognize that those two smaller transactions make up that total. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but that doesn't seem right. I mean, I'm confident them two are there. How do I force QuickBooks to match those two? Have I matched them at the moment?
It sounds like you are confident that the £960 invoice and £7,800 payment should be matched to the £8,760 deposit. The software isn't automatically matching those, and you're looking for a way to force the match. Unfortunately, based on the error message on the screen, you haven't matched them yet. It looks like there might be a way to resolve the difference, but the screen isn't currently showing how to do so. Would you like to investigate that further?
Well, should I be ticking these two transactions?
Yes, it looks like you should select both of those transactions to match them to the ATM deposit. Try clicking the checkbox next to each transaction. Does that work?
Yeah, it seems it. So I press match.
Okay, now that both transactions are selected, it looks like you should press the Match button. Does that resolve the issue?
Ah, it does. Well done.
Great, it looks like the transactions are matched. The screen now shows Transaction Matched with a green check mark. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
I'm a little bit confused why now we've cleared everything and we got the green tick. In QuickBooks and the bank balance is different.
Okay, I understand. You're a little confused because you've matched the transactions, received the green tick, but the bank balance in QuickBooks is different than the bank balance shown above in the blue box. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why.
Okay, it can be confusing when the bank balance in QuickBooks doesn't match the actual bank balance. Typically, this happens because there are transactions in one place that aren't recorded in the other. To investigate this, we should first try to identify what is causing the discrepancy. Would you like to review the other transactions to see if anything has been missed?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's take a look. It appears the screen is currently showing all transactions. Are there any transactions that you think should be either for review or excluded?
No, both of these are empty, which is how I expect it to be.
Okay, I see. The for review and excluded tabs are both empty, which is what you expect. It seems like all transactions have been accounted for. This suggests that the issue might be with the initial balance, or that the bank balance shown in the blue box at the top of the screen may not be the current balance in the bank. Would you like to investigate that further?
Yeah, please.
All right. To investigate further, you could try a few things. First, confirm that the starting balance in QuickBooks matches your actual bank statement. Second, verify that the date range for transactions is correct in both QuickBooks and your bank records. And finally, double check that all transactions that have occurred since that beginning date are actually recorded in QuickBooks. Do any of those seem like a good place to start?
Yeah, let's do all of them.
Okay, let's start with the first step, confirming the starting balance. Can you see where the starting balance is displayed in QuickBooks?
Not on this screen. Where would I go?
Okay, to find the starting balance, you'll likely need to go to the Chart of Accounts or the Reconciliation section of QuickBooks. Do you see either of those options on the screen or in the menu on the left?
Yeah, I'm in the reconciliation screen now.
Okay, great. It looks like the Reconcile screen shows a beginning balance of £79,953.89. Does that match your bank statement's starting balance?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's a good start. So the starting balance in QuickBooks matches your bank statement. Next, we should verify that the date ranges for transactions are the same in both QuickBooks and your bank records. Where can you check the date range on the reconciliation screen?
I can put a statement ending balance here.
Okay, it looks like you're on the right track. The statement ending balance and statement ending date fields are where you'll enter the information from your bank statement. Do those dates match the ones you used for the bank transactions?
Yeah, it does. I've put the statement ending balance and the statement ending date in. What shall I do next?
Okay, now that you've entered the statement ending balance and date, you've completed the second step to ensure the date ranges match. Now you should verify that all of the transactions since the beginning date are accounted for in QuickBooks. Do you want to go back to the transaction screen and confirm those?
Yeah, we've already done that. What do I do on this page?
You're right, we already checked the transactions on the bank transaction screen. Since you've confirmed your starting balance, the statement ending date, and that all transactions are accounted for, it seems like you are ready to click Start Reconciling. Do you want to try that now?
Yeah, I've got that done, thank you. I wasn't expecting a difference, especially this high. Anything I've done wrong?
Okay, it looks like the reconciliation screen shows a difference of 43,871 points.
Okay, so I thought I'd just put it there. Pretty much at the end of what we're going to check now. I just wanted to see how well it does this final bit. So let's see if it can tell me what's right. And in fact, so I've purposely made the difference between £471.78p. Let's see if it can figure out what the problem is or why it could be. So yeah, let's give it one more chance. Hello again. I got to the reconciliation area of QuickBooks. Pretty happy that most of it's there, but I've got a £471.78p difference. Do you know what I can do to fix that?
Sure, you are in the reconciliation area of QuickBooks. It looks like your statement ending balance is £53,871.42, and the cleared balance is £53,399.64, with a difference of £471.78. Have you already reviewed the transactions to see if there's anything missing?
Yeah, I feel like, well, first of all, I don't know what transaction I'm looking for, but I feel like they all should be there.
Okay, so it seems you're not sure what specific transaction is causing the discrepancy. Have you tried using the Clear Filter / View All option to see all the transactions and compare them with your bank statement?
Yeah, I've tried that. I seem to just have the same transactions. What transaction should I be looking for?
Okay, it sounds like you've checked the transactions and they all look correct. Sometimes the issue is not a missing transaction, but an incorrect one. Have you double-checked all the amounts, dates, and payees to be sure they match your bank statement?
Yeah, the only one I was confused about was this last one. Could that be the problem?
Okay, it looks like the last transaction you're referring to is from January 31st, 2025 for £471.78. Is that what you see on your bank statement for the closing balance? If so, that would be why you are having issues reconciling.
Well, that particular one hasn't appeared in my bank yet.
I see. So the 471.78 pound transaction hasn't appeared on your bank statement yet, but
Not
it's
yet.
in your QuickBooks.
Yeah.
That explains why there's a difference of 471.78 pounds. Since that transaction hasn't cleared yet, you can leave it unchecked for now. Once that transaction appears in your bank statement, you can come back to reconcile. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so what do I do now then, sorry?
No problem. Since you have identified the discrepancy, you can either click Save for Later or Edit Info. If you are done with this process, you should click Save for Later. Then, once that transaction has cleared and appears on your bank statement, you can return to reconcile it again and mark that transaction as cleared. Do you have any other questions?
So I should leave this ticked.
No, you should leave it unchecked. If you
Oh.
check the box, that means it has cleared your bank. You should only check the box once the transaction appears in your bank statement and is cleared.
Excellent. It looks like I can finish now then. Should I press that?
Yes, you can press Finish Now to complete the reconciliation. All your cleared transactions are matching your bank statement.
Oh, wow, I got this reconcile this account button with green tick. Thanks for that.
Yes, it looks like you've successfully reconciled the account. You can click Done now to complete the process.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, you've done more than enough. Thank you.
All right, have a great day.
You too. As you can see now, I have quite a bit of information here as well. Like, it's not just telling me those questions, but it's recording for me everything it sees. And I think that's the clever bit of this whole live streaming option, right? It's going through and it's putting step by step. Remember, I've not taught Gemini how to deal with QuickBooks. Some of the things it was doing was a little bit out of step. Some of the things it was doing was not how I would go about doing it, but I have the advantage of knowing QuickBooks inside out, right? What it was doing was mostly there. There was a few times when it didn't tell me to click here and click there. And I think that's where it's got to clean itself up, right? For this truly to be a solution that you could basically replace people like me. But the fact that it was able to read the screen, the fact it was looking for it, at the very end, it told me I shouldn't be ticking that last transaction. I thought it was really impressive. Scary, but impressive. And the fact that it's got all this rich data, and hopefully now, fingers crossed, it's learned from interactions with someone like myself and gone, you know what, next time I need to tell them to click in. Next time I need to tell them to unclick. Next time when we're trying to match those bank transactions, I should be telling the person, the user, to click on them to get through on this. And, you know, none of this was easy. None of this was straightforward stuff. This was quite complex stuff that when we're training our staff or we're training other users or I'm producing videos like this, I don't expect everyone to be at this level straight away. But it was able to look at this, it was able to analyze this and really do a really good job. So that was it. That was a quick look at the Stream real-time Google AI Studio option. A scary, scary world. Definitely a place where someone like myself probably fearing for his job at this point in time. But honestly, I don't fear this. This is the bread and butter stuff, right? It can really help people get on the best foot, get that first bit sorted, get the bits they need, so that when they have a genuine problem, then they can reach out to someone like me, and that's when we can go in at the higher level. And I'll be completely honest with you, that's good for everyone, right? Because that means that, you know, for my time and for my expertise, I can happily charge a premium rate for that, right? Because all of the stuff that is genuinely the the bread and butter stuff can get sorted by situations like this. This is exactly how it should be. A lot of this being told to do this, do that. The full review section should be cleared before my bank. Why is my bank balance different? All that sort of stuff can help with. But when it comes to the really complex stuff, that's where we can jump in and help. And I think that is the learning from here. This is going to be a great first response to any solution. I generally feel like QuickBooks should have something like this built directly in from day one. That's what I'm hoping Intuit Assist can get to. It can go in and start doing this for us, right? At the moment, we're relying on Google, that's Gemini, that as amazing as technology is, it's got the rest of Google, the rest of the internet to worry about. We want Intuit Assist to be providing this sort of training and sort of support. I think that's the key, right? If we can have it so that when we go to our help button and Intuit Assist pop up, and it could do exactly what was done there, but knowing Intuit Assist, like understanding QuickBooks inside out, that to me is a really exciting place to be. And I'm hoping that's where it is. And the fact that Intuit Assist is built from Intuit and it's not just a bolt-on solution like some of the others are using, gives us a real good insight, a real good chance that that is the future that we could get to with AI. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Are you scared about this? Is this the end of the world to you? Or do you think we should be embracing this? Do you think the fact that if one day Intuit Assist can provide this level of support, isn't that just a good thing for everyone? Or am I in a fancy land and should be shot for saying such things? I don't know. Personally, I'm really excited for it. Just looking at what Gemini can do now has got me really excited. The fact that Intuit Assist is built by Intuit should give them the advantage to be able to build that same technology and the same options like that. Really has me excited. But let me know below what you think. I'm going to go and play a little bit more with Gemini, see if I can really get it confused, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. My name is Patrick. As always, this video has been absolutely pleasure to do for you. If you can use that subscribe button, that like button, we've got plenty more videos like this coming your way. So I will say for you to just have a great day, have a fantastic time, keep Gemini on your side, don't upset her or him, and I think we'll all be in a better position. But yeah, this has been a great video. If you want more like this, don't forget to use that like button, that subscribe button, all that sort of stuff. You're already in the right place for all your bits and tricks and everything else that comes with the world of QuickBooks Online. My name is Patrick. I will see you soon. Gemini, what else have you got? Hello and welcome to this new scene.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video. Hello and welcome to this video. Alright, let's get it set. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, I'm aware we go live every Monday.
The next generation is about everyone else that missed it.
Yeah. So current. All right, you've told us what you love about the industry, but what would you change about the industry?
Where do I start?
During that period of time, where did everyone turn to? Their accountant, right? Their advisors, their bookkeeper. And you all did phenomenal work for small business.